This week on Hermitcrafts.
I don't even know how I did that. I don't even know. That's fine. That's part of the game. Is sometimes.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixel Rifts, our writer is LoyXP, and milestones are a weird thing. For example, as of last week, we've been making the Hermitcraft Recap, starting on our old channel, then moving to this one, for 5 years now. Which didn't even register, because we've been so focused on where Hermitcraft is going that we don't always stop to think about the journey we've been on. On the other hand, Hermitcraft itself just celebrated its own 9th birthday last month, and sometime in this coming week, Azumavoid is due to release his 1000th contiguous Hermitcraft episode, which is an achievement well worth celebrating once you see it roll into your subscription feeds. But as we continue to ride the nostalgia train into the future, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with XbCrafted, who continues barnstorming new ideas. The latest addition to the agricultural expansion across the river is a tractor barn, with an adjoining workshop space where you can table all the smiths you want.
If you know what I'm saying, I didn't want just obviously I could just build a set of shelves, but I kind of wanted something that looked like it was maybe just kind of thrown together out of, parts and bits that were kind of laying around.
He completes the image with a tractor fresh in from the fields, then moves on to working in the animal barn. He's on the fence about some of the details, so while building up the dividers and staircases, he cuts away to some Target minigames with vintage beef. And while he's in the neighborhood, he checks out the Aquatown plot he successfully won, and pays his diamonds directly into the B-dubs pile.
There, see? Look at that. He's obviously winning because it's taller, right?
Zombie Cleo stops by Aquatown as well, here to install value and fine arts, and to instill a creeping sense of dread.
Oh, hey! We got, Oh, I was going to say we had concessions, but, we don't.
Being given the task to explicitly go nuts in Azuma's theatre, Cleo puts together a scene from Hamilton, casting herself, for Symmetry and Stress Monster as the Schuyler sisters.
We've got for Symmetry, Stress, and Cleo, because I'm a big Hamilton fan, because I'm a nerd.
Having now provided both the thrills and the frills for the audience, she circles back to the Hermit Zoo for an even bigger exhibition. Using a few helmets left over from that time the whole server was helping Rendog, Cleo makes a diorama of stormtroopers at the foot of a hill on which Emperor Scarpatine is duking it out with Kylo Rendog. I had to see this horrendous Photoshop, Zloy did, and so will you.
Okay, no offense, if you're a Jedi and you don't choose a double-bladed lightsaber, what's wrong with you?
In terms of providing drama, Azumavoid goes for a less direct approach. His episode 999 is a 99-question Q&A session spilling all sorts of beans.
Azuma, are you real? The answer is, of course, no, I'm just a figment of your imagination. Is there any particular content creator who you'd like to see join Hermitcraft? No one in particular, but there are loads of great content creators out there who I think would be wonderful on Hermitcraft, but as it's probably pretty obvious, we haven't recruited in a long time, we're a large group, and it's probably going to stay that way.
His episode 1000 will be something even greater. But for now, we'll be talking about X answering questions, as a past version of him is struggling through Cubfans Parkour Course.
What are you doing for episode 1000? I've been watching since season 3, and I've been waiting for this moment for years. I can tell you, my friends, that I'm going to do the same thing as I did in episode 404 of Hermitcraft.
We can expect more people to struggle through Cubfans Parkour Course. The newest Hermit and Herald covers the existence of the jumpy test and invites more people to come and break their shins. Well, it already did, but now it's just not in French.
Unfortunately, other people can't read between the lines, right? There's actually words here.
But now that the server mates will be doing a flip on his behalf, Cub wants to see if he can convince a plot of Aquatown lands to do the same. This being a Scar plot, that's going to involve much more pig training than expected.
I don't know how much.
I was going to offer 10 diamond blocks, but since there's poop and pigs everywhere, we'll go with
12.
We'll go with 12.
With transactions in order, the two of them roll up to Cub's pad and try out a new minigame in store at the Great Pyramid, competitive WhackaMole. Using bows instead of mallets, the two players have to whack down the target blocks that pop up from below the surface, trying to outrun the other to the high score. How it went can be summed up with this one fact: they had to invent an easy mode midway through.
Next round in easy mode. Here's how it works. Bada boom, stuff is happening, and boom. Easy mode.
It's just a different color.
But key is the button press is longer, so that means the targets stay up
the
longer.
wood.
Joe Hills goes full arcade mode this week as he plans to fill the hull of the Ever Given with art and memorabilia commemorating the fun times the season has had so far. He starts out picking up some tchotchkes, curios, and second-hand objets d'art from the Vintage Beef yard sale, including an authentic set of decked-out items and some posters from the mayoral campaign.
I mean, some of these are collectibles. I didn't snatch up some of these maps when I should have. I mean, and that teleportation orb,
Could come in handy.
that could save a life.
This eventually leads to him building a replica decked-out board in the Ever Gallery, complete with soulfire lanterns and several framed artifacts. But in the meantime, he jumps into the second and third parkour courses at Cubfan's Pyramid, where the jungle parkour causes him to contemplate life.
Okay, so up we go. What? Ah! What happened?
And the nether parkour causes him to contemplate time.
I have probably spent 3 hours on this jump.
Life and time are also on Mumbo's mind when he returns to the server, as himself this time, and brings his living base back from the brink of death.
I might have logged in at the perfect time to save it. Is it okay? Is it revived? Did that golden apple make it into the system? I think I actually did it.
With that heroic act complete, he returns to his industrial district and decides to give it the final push towards completion. Flooding the bottom layer so nothing spawns, he adds his first ever honey farm, originally staffed by a single bee, and finishes out the space with an enormous wheat farm.
It's been ages since I've seen a farm like this. It does look cool though.
As the penny drops and he realizes there may be no more things left to farm, the thought also occurs, wasn't this whole industrial district idea a competition with Iskall? And finally there is Iskall, who, if he wants to return to the competition, might have to get rid of his caveman tools first.
Why is there a stone pickaxe in my inventory? 80 episodes in? Unbelievable.
In fact, Iskall decides his whole inventory is due for spring cleaning as he unpacks his ender chest and shulker boxes and realizes it's all incredibly disorganized. Ditching the odd blocks of coarse dirt and gravel for stuff he might actually want to use in future, he turns to villager trading to get some better backup tools and armor, fortunes a ton of redstone, and packs it all back into his interdimensional suitcase, much happier with the contents.
A little bit short on the diamond side, but then again, my diamonds are safely, well, hopefully safe in the bunker.
But there's another competition to get back to, and it's over the space in Pacific. After Mumbo roped off an area of Iskall's decorations so it could be used for redstone, Iskall counter-proposes that Mumbo can just do it better. And maybe that way, the palm trees get to survive.
New redstone area, ? And some encouragement. Mumbo, you can do it.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is PixelRiffs. If you want to see me getting killed by a screaming goat for the very first time, check out my video in this week's End Screen Theatre exploring this week's Caves and Cliffs snapshot. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.